And starting our sequence in Vajrasana, placing the hands behind our hips, inhaling, extending the chest, and also pressing against our feet, giving the weight to the back to stretch the lower legs. And exhale, coming back. Inhale up, and make sure that you have a nice position with your knees balanced, hip width apart. And exhale. Inhale up. Exhale into Namaste. And bringing the right leg forward. Again, we want to have a good, strong balance here. And again, inhaling up. And now with a bit of extension, looking towards the hands. And exhale, bending forward, even going deeper into the bend of the knee in the front. And as I inhale, I open up my arms, my chest. And as I exhale, I come back and I grab hold of my left foot. And I press the left foot against my hip. I advise to keep your eyes fixed at the chosen spot to keep your balance here. Feel the stretch of the left upper thigh. And letting go of your foot, and now straightening the right leg in front. An opposite stretch here. I'm even flexing my foot to go into a deeper stretch of the hamstrings. And coming back into the starting position and moving the foot back into tabletop with my hands under my shoulders, my hips aligned with the knees. And a few rounds of Marjariasana. You can do it in your pace, inhaling head and tail up, exhaling head and tail down. So a few rounds of this. And after the next exhalation, finding a neutral position and stretching out the right leg. And here I'm going to lift my right arm towards the ceiling, turning the body to the side and balance here. And then the arm goes towards the head, the leg comes up into this balance. And now, again, holding on to your foot and give a nice stretch to the right upper leg, to your quadriceps, and stretching out the leg again, arm up, eyes at a fixed spot, a few breaths here. And turning in towards the mat, exhaling, bringing the leg towards the head, tucking your left toe, and inhale, lifting the leg up and bringing it down into downward dog. Again, for another little rest in between the sequence, stretching the body, relaxing the body. You can do some stepping movements if you want. And with the next exhalation, I'm bringing my left foot forward into a lunge with my right leg stretched out, straight. And here, I'm going to open up to half moon, where my right leg will be up. I will be balancing on my left hand and left foot, and I will be opening up my right hand towards the ceiling. So it's a tricky balance. Make sure you first have the right space for your right hand and left hand and foot. Have a good grip. The leg is up. And whenever you feel ready, you open up the arm. Again, fixing your eyes at the spot may help to try to open up the chest as much as possible to the side. And coming back down into a forward bend. And staying here for a few breaths before we go into the next balancing pose. And the next and the last one. Again, balancing yourself on the left and grabbing hold of the right foot. And here, slowly coming up with your eyes at a chosen spot. And now following the hand with your eyes going into the dancer pose. And dropping the leg to the back with your arms up. Inhale and exhale, bend forward towards your left leg. And walking yourself into Padottanasana in the center. And a few breaths here. And slowly, with control, coming up and exhaling, walking your body into a standing pose. And observe the effects, this effort of balancing, creating a nice stimulation, while at the same time balancing our mind. And now let's continue in the opposite direction, rolling down vertebra by vertebra into Vajrasana. Hands in the back, inhale, pressing against the feet, giving the weight of the body to the back. And I exhale, I come back. Inhale on my knees with the hands in front of the chest. First finding a good position for myself there, exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bringing them down and placing this time the left leg in front. Inhale into an extension. Exhale, forward bend, bending the knee further. And inhale, opening up the chest. And as I exhale, I grab hold with control of my right foot and press it against my hip. Feel the stretch of the right upper thigh. And again, with control, dropping. Since this is strong on the knee, I advise you to move with control and stretching out the left leg, maybe even flexing the foot to stretch the hamstring. And coming back up on my knee, bringing the left leg back into the tabletop position. And let's do a couple of rounds of Marjariasana in your own pace of breathing. And finding a neutral position, stretching out the left leg and balancing on the right, opening up the arm towards the ceiling. And one nice deep breath here. And now going deeper into the balance by the left hand going towards the head and now lifting the left leg. And grabbing hold of the left foot, stretching the thigh. And again, arms up, balancing and moving back towards the mat. And exhale, bringing the leg towards the head. And as I inhale, I tuck my right toe, lift the leg up, and bring it down into downward dog. Again, I'm staying here for a few breaths. Give your body a global stretch and rest. Make sure that your fingers are active. You're pressing on your shoulder blades to go deeper into the stretch. The sits bones are pointed towards the ceiling. And with the next exhalation, the right leg comes forward, the left leg is stretched out. And here I'm again going to prepare myself for the balance with my right hand on the ground. First, lifting up the left leg. And whenever you feel ready, lifting up the left arm, opening up the chest towards the side. If your balance is very good here, you can try to look towards the side of the body. Otherwise, keep gazing at the chosen spot on the floor and coming back down into a forward bend. Again, resting and stretching the body. And now preparing for our last balance in the sequence, grabbing hold of the left foot and with control, coming up into a standing position with our eyes on the floor, and then following the arm, going into dancer pose, and dropping the leg back. I'm even opening up my chest here, and forward bend towards the right leg, and walking my body to the center of the mat, towards Padottanasana. And with control from the core, lifting the body up. And bringing the arms down. The legs are still wide apart because I will go into the next sequence. Make sure that your feet are parallel, you're in a good balanced position. Deep breath in and out. Now lifting the arms up. Exhaling, bending forward. Sits bones up towards the ceiling. Right hand on the floor. Lifting the left arm. Nice deep twist. The arm goes as far up as possible to deepen the twist, and coming back down, changing the hands opposite direction. Few breaths here. And coming back down. And staying there for a breath. Now I'm going to have my right arm balancing, strong hands. And the opposite leg will also be balancing. I actually want to put my hand right under the shoulder because I will really need the strength. And bending the knee and keeping the weight in this crisscrossed arm and leg, I will lift my right leg up and grab my foot. And place my body on the ground with control. And then come into the boat pose. Keep breathing here. And now bending the knees, still staying in the balance, holding onto your thighs. Let's do a few massaging rolls on the floor. Rolling and coming into a balance. Rolling and balance. One last time and then coming up, on your feet. You need to go a little bit faster than I did there. I like staying here. This is a very nice pose to stretch the spine. Allowing the head to drop. The hips and the head are pulling the body in opposite directions. And now placing your hands in a strong pose to jump into the plank. And slowly, with control, coming down on the mat. Going to upward dog. And downward dog. Lifting the left leg up. And now bringing the left leg forward in a straight way. Keeping the stretch here. And walking again back to the center where we have started. We're going to stay there. And once again, this time placing the left hand, opening up the right arm into the twist. And coming back down. Left arm. Coming back down. And now the left hand a little bit more under my shoulder. And the right leg will be carrying the weight, bending the knees. The knees and toes always point in the same direction. And moving the right leg in, grabbing hold of the toes and placing your body gently on the ground and going into the boat pose. And bending the knees, grabbing hold of the legs and roll, come up. Roll, come up. And the last roll all the way up. Yes, that's better. And stretch here. the spine with the weight of the head and hips. For that, we really need to drop the head. Now, the theme of the air element seems to be very strong today. There are very unusual activity of some planes just flying on top. You can hear the sound in the background. Okay, now the hands are on the mat, and I'm jumping my body into the plank pose. Strong pose here. Make sure that you have the muscles in between and about the shoulder blades active as you're coming down and into the upward dog. Downward dog. Lifting the left up. And I think I lifted the wrong leg, so right leg up. And placing it straight on the ground and turning your body into Prasarita and staying there. Dropping the head, moving back and forth to the sides. And slowly, with control, coming up, walking your feet into a parallel position, relaxing the arms. And take a moment to observe the effects of this strengthening and grounding flow. And this concludes the Vinyasa part of our class.